it's the cringy factor. It's the cringe factor. What are people going to think? Are they going to think I'm lame? Establish yourself as a thought leader in your space. It really isn't a nice to have. It's 2020. It's 2025. Let's just say you don't need to have this masterpiece. It doesn't need to be a dissertation. Just share your insights. Hit post and let people see all that you have to offer and all the value that you can bring. What is up, everybody, and welcome on inside yet another edition of the Business of Social podcast powered by STN Digital. I'm your host, David Brickley. You know, we've had this concept or idea to do some of these 10 to 20 minute mini podcasts. If you guys enjoy them, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Let us know that you like them. We'll do more of them. But I'm actually remote now for a client here out in Florida. And I'm like, you know what? Not in studio. You could see the hotel room in the background here on YouTube. But you know what? Let's crank out some content and make sure we're being productive, especially during the holiday season as we get into the new year. I know a lot of you guys are traveling. You're on airplanes. You're in the car trying to soak up some knowledge and really use this time, part of your New Year's resolution, I'm sure, to get some more knowledge and approach the year anew. So one thing I wanted to talk about and what I'm titling this podcast is feeling cringy about posting. Here's why you should hit post anyway. You know, I've done a lot of content around really urging, or on my LinkedIn, I'll say, this is your nudge, because it's amazing in my 12-year career, the amount of people that have said, I want to get better at LinkedIn, but I don't have time, but I feel awkward, but I don't know what to post. And take LinkedIn, Instagram, your personal brand. I know a lot of you are busy and you just don't invest enough in your personal brand. And oftentimes it's time. But what I really find is it's the cringy factor. It's the cringe factor. What are people going to think? Are they going to think I'm lame? Are they going to get any value out of this? And the real reasons why, especially on LinkedIn, when it comes to professionals, I've been posting on LinkedIn for, over a decade now and have developed a decent amount of following. And a lot of people, it's super kind in our industry, listen to the podcast, see me on LinkedIn, and they ask me for advice or say, I want to be like you on LinkedIn one day once I have that time. But the reasons that I hear people not post is lack of time, self-doubt, and really waiting for that perfect idea. And I think a lot of folks are just waiting for all these stars to align for the perfect time to sit down and hit post. And I just really want to, implore our industry to spend time on your personal brand, because it's only going to help you get that promotion, get that next job in your career, really establish yourself as a thought leader in your space. It really isn't a nice to have. It's 2020. It's 2025. Let's just say that, right? This is not 20 years ago. This is not 5 years ago. If you don't have a brand on LinkedIn as a professional, and that doesn't mean you post 4 times a day on LinkedIn, but if you've never posted on LinkedIn, or your headshot is weird, or you haven't updated your where you currently work, it's unacceptable. Like, people are going to start judging you and not look at you seriously online if you're not doing these things. So think of each post, each time you dive in or update your profile, whatever, think of it as a small deposit in building more trust and credibility with your community, but also decision makers and people that can bring you up that ladder to success. So I wanted to give you some quick tips. I know a lot of you, again, I've got this question from so many colleagues, so many clients. I want to get better at LinkedIn. David, what do you recommend? So I'm going to break this down super simply for you, because I know a lot of you haven't started yet. You want to start. What should I do? The first thing I'll recommend, I'll give you 3 quick tips and make this very actionable for you. Number 1, calendar block it. Yes, right now, go on your calendar, find 15 minutes a week, and protect that time like any other medium. This is my LinkedIn posting time, and really start small is my second advice for you. You don't need to have this masterpiece. It doesn't need to be a dissertation. Just share your insights, wins, repost a colleague's win that you can say, I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. You crush it. You constantly inspire me. Or even a challenge you recently faced. A lot of your content can come from the meetings that you're in that week. This piece of content came from a meeting where somebody yet asked me again, I want to get better at LinkedIn, but I don't have a lot of time and I kind of feel awkward. And like, what do you recommend, David? I'm like, you know what? Let me do a post. Let me do a quick pod on this, because I keep on getting this question. I know that this is going to urge somebody to do their first post or to make this part of their cadence. So calendar block it, start small. Don't act like you need to post 3 times a week. Just get out there and find a challenge you face, an insight or a win that you can post. And number 3, support your community. Add value to other posts, comment, like, reshare. This can all be part of that 15-minute block. So you can really make sure that as you sit back and you look back 12 weeks from now, that you've commented, you've shared, you've posted quite a few times, and you're starting to build that personal brand. But it's really important that one thing I just want to get across in this quick pod, block out the time, hit post, and let people see all that you have to offer and all the value that you can bring. Yes, 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 it's gonna feel cringy. Every time you hit post, you're gonna be like, am I gonna feel like, again, every time I post, like, oh God, this David Brickley has another thought, or another take by good old David, huh? This guy really likes to hear himself talk. Whatever. I've also heard the comments, thank you so much. You urged me to actually get out there and post myself. I brought that tidbit into my meeting. I put that in my deck for my boss and one of my promotion meetings that helped me get promoted. That's all I need. So I always look at it, if it helps you guys, if 100 people see your post and one single person gets value out of it, then it's worth it. So this podcast, if you took time to listen to it, if you're on the road, if you're listening on your way to work, if you're on the fence, consider this your nudge. It's time to it's 2025. It's part of your New Year's resolution. Find 15 minutes a week that you can calendar block. Start with LinkedIn. You're professionals. You want to make sure that when people come across your profile, that you're a thought leader, that you know what you're talking about, you provide value. Nobody's going to market yourself unless you market yourself. So this is your nudge. I hope you got some value out of it. Appreciate you guys listening as always. This has been yet another mini edition of the Business of Social Podcast. My name is David Brickley. It's all been powered by STN Digital. Happy posting.